The plan was simple. We're going to kidnap the son of the most famous singer on planet Earth and then ask him for money. But it's not kidnapping because we're going to pay it back. This week on American Loser.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
On the edge they take the throne, built on bones of those unknown. Coming first, never last, still erased from the past. I am an American loser. No one remembers my name. No legacy and no future. One step behind in the game.
What is going on here, folks? It's good to be here with you. We're in Studio C today right now, so it's a little bit different. We're still in our weird militia bar, okay? And, of course, I got a great guest here for you. Ladies and gentlemen, South Beach Larry is still not here. Mike Harrington filling in, brother. How are you?
I am absolutely incredible, KP. Super excited to talk about the prodigy, the prodigy of Old Blue Eyes and his faithful ransom attempt.
First of all, you get this show on a deep level. We're only in the studio because of you. I never lose sight of that. And then on top of it, the fact that you're willing to actively research the topic while navigating the Williamsburg Bridge will never not impress me. So very grateful for you on that one, buddy. And it's a weird show today, real quick. Got to give a quick shout out to the Dominator, okay? Dom making things happen. Moved us into a different studio. We're recording on a different day right now. Schedules got screwed up with the snow, but the show must go on because I have about 400 people that look forward to this every single week.
The mighty 400.
That's right.
Dude, that's 100 more people than defended Thermopylae.
See, this is, again, why you get the show, sir. If we could just get them all together in one place at one time. Hang on, no, that's what happened on, that started to sound Capitol building-like to me.
Oh, my God, the entrance was the choke point.
That's... and it's just Lindsey Graham is a little hunchback guy betraying everybody. Inside baseball a little bit there, folks. But we're going to give you a great topic here. We found a very weird one, but of course I am just I choose to express gratitude at all times. Dom is crazy good at his job, deserves to be Employee of the Month again. Whoever's Employee of the Month right now, step it up. My boy Dom's coming for you. Okay? And possibly the next Employee of the Month is actually sitting next to him right now. And we owe you a thank you, Serafina. Thank you very much for being here today. All right? She's learning on the fly. We're training her. She's doing good things. You crazy kids got anything you want to get off your chest real quick?
No, nothing from me.
Never is with Dom. Dom's just like, can I just have a job? Can I just do my job, KP? And you stop trying to make it where we're all friends and we go on hangouts together. All right? Are you taking me to Jamaica? I didn't think so, KP. All right? Jamaica or we don't hang out after work. That's all.
We're going to go to Jamaica, Queens.
That's Harrington would book a show there, I guarantee it.
In a heartbeat. Dude, this is, you know what this show is for me? It's like, I get to sit at home and like look down on my wife who still vapes because I quit like 3 months ago. And I come in here, throw a little Alp in my mouth. I learn some stuff about history, and I get to take the edge off for an hour or two.
It's crazy how good Alps are. I really, it's not even a political statement that we're making. They're just, it's the supreme pouch, okay? Everything else tastes like, you ever see a Zin that gets thrown into a urinal, and you're just like, that's why. Okay, you would never put an Alp into a urinal.
No, that'd be
sit there,
uncouth.
Yeah, savor the flavor. That's what we're going for here, folks. We're going to dive right into it. This topic, I needed a safe episode here. The original plan was that we were going to put this one as like, one in the can for when my girl's going to shit out my kid soon. So she's a great girl. We love you, Carly. And I'm going to be a dad in about 2 weeks, it looks like, guys. So, yeah, pretty crazy.
But before that,
Anxiety Attack at 10:30, New York Comedy Club, East Village.
No, don't you have a going away from stand-up show coming up?
I do, and because she's being induced, we get to pick the day.
Okay.
Because I told her, I was like, listen, I have your back for forever, but if you get induced and then I have to leave to go do my show at the Dojo of Comedy in Morris Plains, New Jersey, March 14th, okay? LP will be there. Pretty sure he's going to bagpipe me on stage.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going full, it's full WrestleMania season for us now.
You should have him open with the Spicy McHaggis jig.
If he could play, he shows up on time.
Okay.
He is the way I am with manual labor. We're like, well, he's here, so we're going to use him. That's how my dad is with
That's how
bagpiping.
he is with bagpiping.
Yeah, they're like, all right, I can do Amazing Grace, and they're like, all right, can you just move your fingers and then can you march in step? And that's essentially what it is. So yes, my father will be cross-dressing for the entire month, wearing his kilt around the house, making all of us uncomfortable. But life is good, and happy season of St. Patrick's to you, buddy.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited, man. You timed it well because the entire time, like when I was in the delivery room with Alex, it was like, we're watching Gods of Egypt on TNT, right? The Perfect Storm was on AMC. You were gonna have college basketball around the clock.
Oh, she won't have it. She is going to let me watch Braveheart in the. We're bringing a Fire Stick. I'm going to watch Braveheart. That way, I can be emotional too. In the moment. By the way, missed out on an opportunity today. Dom knows about this. This is part of the reason why we moved stuff. I was supposed to meet Kurt Russell today. True story.
Whoa.
Yep. Sirius XM. He was hanging out with Sam Roberts, getting interviewed by him. My buddy Dave Durkin, who I love to death, hits me up. He goes, by the way, we won a lottery for tickets, so you're going to go get to hang out with Snake Plissken. Whoa. The only thing better would be MacGyver or Stone Cold Steve Austin for me.
I'll give you Stone Cold. MacGyver, I'm taking Snake over MacGyver.
MacGyver was just too, it was a different time in my life, Harrington. MacGyver was my hero. Still is. But anyway, we did write this episode. It's a banger of a topic. You're not getting any sort of a discounted rate on this one, folks. It's very good. You guys know the deal for me. You want to come see me out on the road? I have a couple other gigs coming up. March 7th, I'm at the Smod Castle, Kevin Smith's theater. We're going down there. It's some sort of a fundraiser for one of the high schools that's probably going to be defunct soon. But we're going to raise money for them in the meantime. And it's always cool to hang out with those guys. So if you guys want to come see me down there, that's your north end of the Jersey Shore. And if you're a North Jersey person like me, Dojo's going to be it for a little while. And then, of course, good old Harrington keeps me busy here in the city from time to time. That being said, it's at KP Burke Sucks over on Instagram. Keep supporting it. Blind Mike did a hell of a job on those series of reels. He worked his cute little ass off. If you guys want to get, if you listen to the Gerald Ford episodes, which again was entirely from Mike Harrington, you gave me that topic, and I said, well, here's a month's worth of content. So, but he did a great job on that. If you want to explain to somebody or even just brush up on the notes, I think each one of them is maybe just under 90 seconds, and you can sound like the smartest person in the room, which is not hard to do these days, unfortunately.
No, it's really easy.
Carly answered that the centennial, not centennial, but the 250th anniversary of America that's coming up in a meeting today full of, I won't say what she does for a living, but it's police officers. They know a lot about the Constitution. You'd think they would know when we, signed the Declaration of Independence. They didn't. Old Carly had to explain that, yes, the 4th of July in 1776 is when we started as a nation.
They were like, no, like we had to win the war first, obviously.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's due process, and I don't know, are they going to have a lawyer? I don't know.
Innocent until proven a country.
No, dude, that's a great one. And by the way, last weird little side note here. I have to get my head right because I've been cooped up with 2 kids and a sick pregnant lady for the entire week. So Harrington is my only adult friend I get to hang out with. I'm wearing long johns, and I just discovered there's actually a little pouch in the front of them that I can pull my junk out of, and I can pee that way.
Okay.
Because I've been pulling my long johns down.
Oh my God.
In my Carhartt bib to get access to.
She's looking like Butters at the urinal.
Dude, I've been. I wish because the Carhartt suit, the little bib thing I wear for work, that's it's. I don't want to admit to you guys how much I've been peeing in my own long johns for the last week.
I was gonna say, was the revelation that they are not like a astronaut's spacesuit? You can't just piss in them,
dude. For any time people like KP's really smart, please know I've been actively pissing in my own pants for the better part of the winter. Nothing can be simple here. Also, I did call out sick the other day from work, and they're like, "What's your excuse?" And I did get to use a line from us. I said, "Sir, I can't make it in for the storm today. I just took a blue chew." That's
really.
They laughed at it and like, all right, put it in for a comp day. Do what you got to do. If only things could be that simple. Here's a plan that's pretty simple.
Can I just real quick want to get a
Please.
plug out?
Of course.
April 9th, the Armored League is making its return to Manhattan. We've only done one show in Manhattan before. It's sold out days before. So if you want to get tickets, we are in Times Square at the Palladium, the biggest
rules.
venue we've ever done. Unveiling a brand new cage for this one. Every event gets bigger and better. There was 800 people packed out at Melrose Ballroom last week. So if you want tickets, head to thearmoredleague.com.
Dude, that thing rules. Once things calm down, I'm going to bring the boys out to that.
Dude, they'd have
my
so much fun.
stepsons,
Hell
they're going
yeah.
to lose their minds. This is pretty simple, this plan, and Harrington already has a bunch of extra complications to go into it. I couldn't believe this one. The fact that this is skipped over and no one really knows this is strange. I'll say this one first and foremost. Frank Sinatra, dead for quite some time now, absolutely still iconic. There's the statues, everything is about him. The Yankees keep him. I mean, he also transcends. He's an East Coast guy, but he's a Jersey boy. Everybody loves to forget that because they say New York, New York.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But-
it was the song you would sing as a kid from Jersey. You know what I
Yes.
mean? You're in Newark looking at the bright lights of New York. You're not writing that song if you're living in the Lower East Side. You know what I mean?
No, that's a fair one.
Like it only looks that beautiful from across the river.
Yeah, it's you need to be able to see it but not hear it. That's what I've always said. But yeah, Sinatra, absolutely iconic guy. Most people can name a couple of his wives, a bunch of his movies. They talk about the Rat Pack.
Beloved on both coasts.
Yeah, he is a national figure. There's a trailer park in Ohio right now that is playing his music.
For sure.
And again, dead how long now? I don't even know.
I think he died in the 90s.
It was
I remember they were still like trotting him out at like dinner theaters and shit back in the day. Till like, I remember my camp counselor when I was in like second grade telling me that they saw Sinatra over the weekend and being like, it's sad. Like it's really, the guy's just gone, man. He looks like he's pissing himself on stage. Like he shouldn't be out there. But like,
he finally the misery ended, and Frankie Valli's like, "Oh, I hope I don't wind up like that."
they're still just wheeling him out in like a sarcophagus and then opening it up.
It's so close to when they would bring the Undertaker back from a Buried Alive match. It's very sad.
But yeah, I think he's been gone since the 90s. But it's still like they just put out that series on Paramount about the making of The Godfather recently. And there was like 2 episodes completely focused on Sinatra. Guys would talk about problems with the crooner. That was a thing that came up in The Irishman recently. Like he's still super relevant in pop culture.
And it's great, too, because it's on all the different sides of it, where if you talk about the Kennedy family, you're going to wind up talking about him.
Yeah.
If you talk about Ronald Reagan, you're going to wind up talking about him. If you're talking about music, you're going to talk about him. Movies, you're going to talk about him. Rat Pack, one-of-a-kind thing. They had the Frat Pack that was supposed to be that, and then there was the Brat Pack.
Brat Pack,
Everything's been – he was iconic.
He was an innovator.
One of the great lines I've ever heard, too, was they asked him one time when he was in his elder years, and he had a significant age gap with the young lady that he was going around with.
No.
And he had, but it's the best answer ever. Somebody said to him, Mr. Sinatra, would you ever consider dating somebody more age appropriate? And his answer was, he goes, I'm Frank Sinatra. Do you really want to see me date age appropriate? Like you're sitting there like, Ric Flair, have you ever thought about not dyeing your hair bleach blonde anymore? It's the woos are a bit much for us, but it was insane.
Yeah, but like, I mean, all right, there's age appropriate and then there's like not disgusting. You know what I mean? Because it's
Correct.
like, you're 73, you're Bill Belichick with a 23-year-old. That gets people's heads to turn. You can be
Little gross.
73 with a girl in her late 30s. And it's like, you still got 40 years on the woman almost.
It's too much. Uh-oh. Your glasses need to charge?
Yeah, my glasses just yelled at me.
Harrington, why is your life getting so much better the more unemployed you get? I don't understand this. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff with that. But also, Sinatra's an interesting guy because you have a hard time keeping track of him on a couple of things. Because, I mean, we look at him, I'm a Jersey guy, we look at him a little bit differently here. But the plan, like I said, is very simple. His son is going to be kidnapped and held for ransom. And I would argue, I mean, he's still one of the most famous people in the world right now.
Right.
While he's still alive, and then this story takes place during his heyday.
63.
Yeah, this is what should have been the fact that this is a relatively harmless. This story is worth laughing at. Okay, it's great. It has all the. I know we talk about a lot of tragic shit on this show, but this is not one of those sad episodes where I'm gonna have to be like, well, anyway, I know I just made a joke and we tricked somebody with a public service announcement, but anyway, a child was, I don't have to do that. So this one's just straight up comedy, and it really is something out of a comedy movie here. Picture this, folks. It's a very bad plan that's going to get pulled off by a failed, what we would call now a finance bro. And he's going to kidnap and hold for ransom the son of arguably the most famous man in the world. I don't know why, maybe because it had a happy ending, it gets skipped over. But this story should have been, like, I thought I knew stuff about Sinatra. I never knew this happened.
Yeah, I mean, you telling me about this as I got in my car was the first I'd ever heard of this. Like, this blows my mind that, like, I mean, this dude was famous enough to be in, like, an iconic episode of The Sopranos.
Yes.
On his own.
Frank
like,
Sinatra Jr.
Without his dad, right? Like, how in God's name did I not know that man was kidnapped at one point and ransomed for $250,000?
Yeah, how many people are going to find out there was a Frank Sinatra Jr. in this story? Everyone knows Frank Sinatra. Yeah. No one's going to know that there was a junior. And yes, I first learned of him from that Sopranos episode. And Paulie Walnuts has a line on him, too, where they say something to him, and then Paulie Walnuts goes, "Hey, shut up, chair boy of the board." Paulie Walnuts, yet again, undefeated.
Man, he used to have to sit there and take that because it's like from not a real gangster. I mean, Paulie was a real gangster, but at the time, he's an actor on a TV show.
Yeah, you'd think you'd be safe on that one. But yes, Tony hosts the executive game, and they bring in some big people, and Frank Sinatra Jr. does play that. He also had a very successful minor career. He kind of had the opposite of what we would call a Nepo baby.
Nepo, okay.
I don't know why I always say Nepo. Maybe I try to put some Greek stink on it. But Nepo baby. Because his father was so famous, he was held in a light of like, oh, Frank Sinatra Jr.'s here. Oh, it just makes me think of Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're just getting like a lesser... It was pre-Super Bowl Eli Manning where you're like, not Peyton? Got it. Yeah. Understood.
So it's like, it's funny because last week I told you I reached out to Alex's dad about, because he's, from that same part of Brooklyn. For this week, I happened to be on a phone call. My dad just called me and said, hey, by the way, do you know any, just fun facts about this or whatever? And he's like, oh, yeah, Frank Sinatra Jr., never quite as good as his father. And I was like,
you can't live up to it.
That's it. That's the first words out of your mouth. If you're of that age, right? Like where, for Frank Sinatra Jr., where he would want to be commercially viable, everyone who would have been buying your records, it's just the moment you hear that name is like, no, he's not his dad.
And the one weird thing was that Nancy, the daughter, was able to pull it off. Now, she had to go blonde and she had to go country a little bit. Yeah. But she was able to pull it off with These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Well, I mean, she had 4 or 5 failed, she was at the very tail end of her record contract when that ended up hitting.
It's, and by the way, also in Sopranos too. She's season
Nancy?
5. Yeah, Nancy
really?
shows up. She sings for the private event for Frank Vincent's character. Why am I blanking? The head of Phil Leotardo. When Phil gets made boss, they bring in Nancy Sinatra to sing, and she just makes fun of them the whole time. Like, you boys, you're all thinking you're cowboys and stuff like that. She just dunked on them. But in order to give a little bit of background over here, I don't want to catch Dom and Serafina off guard, but we're going to have to explain a little bit about the situation. Maybe perhaps the spirit of the times, Michael. Perhaps it's time for a little zeitgeist. Nailed it. This story is going to involve the FBI, RFK, also possibly the mafia. The year is 1963. The country is reeling from the very recent, I'm talking days removed from the death of President John F. Kennedy. Movies are giving us high-budget flicks like Cleopatra, with men losing their minds over Liz Taylor. Steve McQueen is solidifying his hold as the king of cool with his iconic performances in The Great Escape. The L.A. Dodgers, having left Brooklyn in 1958, I had to check that one. They will win a coastal version of the Subway Series, beating the Yankees for the World Series. The Beach Boys are kings of the charts with Surfing USA, and Michael Jackson, still black. Sinatra and the Rat Pack are essentially running the world of entertainment. In fact, they're making a movie. I don't know if you ever heard of this one, buddy, but it was called Robin and the Seven Hoods.
Come on now.
It is a comedy that will blend Robin Hood folklore with Al Capone's Chicago outfit.
Well, okay, so they were stealing from the rich to give to the poor, according to this version of Al Capone's story.
There's a corrupt sheriff, and then there's kind of like they're in the Chicago
Elliot
outfit,
Ness.
so they're doing their thing. And then I believe the love interest's name is Marion, which I'm sure.
Maid Marian.
Yeah, it's a Mariana.
Marion.
It's dude. It blew my mind. But I also knew of that movie too because it's just a funny one. But it's the Rat Pack. They're getting together. They're making a comedy. But
This
yes,
was 3 years after the original Ocean's 11 had come out.
was it really?
Yeah, 1960 was
Good
like
pull.
that was like the put them on the map, like the Rat Pack movie, like
They were just having fun. You can't duplicate when people are having fun.
Dude, when I tell you, like, going back and watching the 60s Ocean's 11, it clicked in my mind, like, oh, of course this is the one George Clooney wanted to remake. Because it 100% is just all of them playing it like, just all of them got to throw their fastball Nolan Ryan 100 miles an hour. Like, there's a moment where, like,
pretty perfect.
They need a distraction, so Dean just, like, starts, like, snapping his fingers, and before you know it, he's making out with a chick so everyone can, like, sneak behind him, and then he's like, I gotta go, babe. At least we had Tahoe. Like, leaves her. It's like, what?
They've got some great lines. Also, the other one I thought was interesting, the Rat Pack was, so Dean Martin was able to be friends with John Wayne, but Sinatra and John Wayne never got along.
Okay.
And the one legendary story was that one night Sinatra was having a huge party on the floor above where John Wayne was staying at a hotel. And John Wayne asked him 3 times to keep it down. And then supposedly they said he went up there, and I'm sure John Wayne said something wildly inappropriate about the Italian-American heritage Mr. Sinatra had. And the bodyguard goes, nobody talks to Mr. Sinatra like that. So John Wayne broke a chair over his head.
Over the security guard's head?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I guess the music quieted down for a little bit there.
Bro, like, straight up, when I see, have you seen, like, these streamer kids, like Jack Doherty and I don't know, like, there is, like, a certain brand of, like, young Gen Z streamer where they just go around being dickheads, like, starting shit with people, and then their big bodyguard gets in between them and the problem. And it's like, dog, why can't any of these dudes run into a John Wayne who's like, you're really gonna stand on business for that shithead? Cool, you're catching a chair, and then it's just me and him.
Yeah, it was. It's like Robin Big once Big died. He was like, oh, you got nothing, dude, do you? I can't wait. See me in the streets, dear Dick. See me in the streets. Hi, I'm KP Burke. History isn't boring. Your teacher was. Also, just want to give you guys a heads up here. I have a little boy on the way. Yes, I am going to become a dad. I'm actively terrified of it, and I'm going to be taking a couple of weeks off the road doing stand-up comedy. So your last chance to see me before I have to become a dad is going to be March 14th at the Dojo of Comedy in Morris Plains, New Jersey. It is one of my favorite clubs in the entire country. I love everybody there, and it's always nice for me to sell some tickets in pretty much what's my own backyard. So come on out to the Dojo of Comedy, buy your tickets at the link here below. It is your last chance to see me before I take a little tiny break from stand-up comedy. I'm not allowed to fully quit because I make just enough money to stay relevant in this business, but not quite enough to not have to have a job where I cut trees down in Morris County. Thanks, and I'll see you guys at the show. This story's a wild one, man. While he's making this movie, Robin and the Seven Hoods, this movie almost shuts down. It's a comedy, and it's very hard to be funny when you're in peril. I'm struggling right now. But he's in peril for a couple reasons. Number one, Sinatra is very good friends with JFK. There was a full-on endorsement. And when the Kennedys kind of stepped out of power, he actually said that he was never loyal to the Democratic Party. He was loyal to the Kennedys. So Sinatra he was kind of a stand-up guy that way. He goes, this isn't partisan. He goes, I liked them. I don't like you. I like them.
I mean, is he a stand-up guy, or were they all in bed with the mob?
There's probably that too. So he's grieving the loss of who he considered his friend. They were supposed to have a meeting, and he was going to come visit him, and then Secret Service couldn't guarantee his safety because Sinatra's the mob stuff was always kind of surrounding him.
But anyway, where else they couldn't guarantee his safety?
Dallas.
Fucking dickheads.
It's the problem is that Sinatra was such a celebrity that he had friends in all of the high places, but also all the low places.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to call in a bunch of favors on this one. But the guy who he probably could have had a direct line to, my son just got kidnapped, put me on the phone with the president. That would have happened had, JFK lived. So it's kind of a weird thing here. So he's already grieving the loss of his friend. And then on top of that, during production of this movie, Robin and the Seven Hoods, his son's going to be kidnapped and held for ransom.
So do you, speaking of the actual kidnapping, where do you have it taking place?
This one was interesting because I'm just an East Coast kid. So when I hear Lake Tahoe, I think Nevada, right? Or as they make you say, Nevada. When you go over there.
Okay.
They make you pronounce the A funny.
Yeah, they can try.
They do. I got an old job made me do it. It was very embarrassing. But yeah, so it's state line over there.
Right.
And that's where a bunch of it's actually where the Corleone family retreats to or sets up their new shop when they move the business out to Lake Tahoe after consolidating the power of the five families. So absolutely mobbed up here. It's kind of like tell me, you might know more. I believe you know more about me on this thing for sure. My read on it was an attempt to set up a kind of Vegas type atmosphere on the lake.
Yeah, so it's like like Reno is like the biggest little city in America, and like that's also like very well known for gambling. Tahoe is like a popular lake destination. People go, it's like a big California thing, and like you said, it's right on the state line. So if you cross this line, now you can go legally gamble at this place.
That comes heavy into the story here too. So, you're already on board. God, I love you, buddy. I really do. By the way, this is my giant fear. This show has been pitched to a couple of TV networks a couple of times to get picked up for stuff, and we haven't given up on the dream, but it's very hard. Everybody who's ever tried knows it. My biggest fear is that they're going to watch an episode with you, me, and my dad, and they're going to be like, listen, green light, dude, all right? Ask Harrington and LP when they can be there. And if you want to, write for it, maybe you could do that. We're probably going to bring in, we got a couple other people that are going to come in and write. Mike Fenoya is going to come write for the show. I was like, I'm losing everything.
You're still going to be the showrunner.
It's, in name only, all right? I will have everything to do with that show that Affleck had to do with Good Will Hunting.
Just the guy on the couch. So I saw reports that he was grabbed up from the motel because he was playing Harris, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Give me 2 seconds.
Sorry.
Well, no, you're golden, buddy. Let's unpack it here. Frank Sinatra's making a movie. I believe he's filming in Reno, if I'm correct on this. And his wife is home in Bel Air. This is Sinatra's first wife. I can't tell if they're married still or not. His situations get murky and, Italians. But Frank Sinatra Jr. is born in Jersey City, New Jersey in 1944. He is known as Junior, even though his middle name isn't the same, but hey, it's close enough. Italians. Frank Jr., similar to his sister Nancy, wants to follow in their father's footsteps. Nancy does eventually give us these boots are made for walking, and Frank Jr. knows that he wants to aspire to live a life of music like his father does from a very early age here. But before the money really started to roll in for Sinatra, he was very well known. He was absolutely a star. But he had to work relentlessly. It was a 24/7 job here. So he doesn't see much of his kids. Doesn't mean they're not on good terms, but it's just very hard to keep a family going when you have the schedule of the most iconic entertainer in the world and also tons of parties to attend. So while he's over in Hollywood, the family lives in Bel Air, which made me laugh because Bel Air comes into the story in a little bit. He's making this movie in Reno with his Rat Pack pals. Frank Jr. is now 19 years old, and he's going to play a gig at Harrah's Casino. All right? I think it's Harrah's, the Lodge at Harrah's, I think is what they call it. So now his name's on the marquee. He's singing on stage with the same band that helped make his father a household name. I watched old, I guess it was old-timey newsreels.
I watched that it was like a 2-minute long microfiche.
They were great, man.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, that's better than most reels, in my opinion. Frank Jr., by the way, has some solid stage chops. We've covered it. If you guys, you're not going to live up to your father's legacy on that one. That's why so many actors change their name. I got a couple good examples here to end the episode on. But Frank Jr. does have talent. He's not a talentless man. He's just not as good as his father. When you want, that, you don't. Sorry, dude. You just can't make it happen. Crowds are enjoying his work, but having the last name of the most famous singer in the world is going to invite some very undeserved but inevitable comparisons. Frank Jr. once joked that the famous last name will get you in the door, and after that, you have to work 3 times harder than everybody else.
I mean, he's not wrong. There's also the certain factor of like, you know,
Just ask Sheba Mason. Tell me about it, baby.
I mean, you know, Frank's like he's growing up poor in Newark, looking at the bright lights of New York City, and he's like, he made it on his own. This kid was born on third base. It's like you know, like you're not going to be a good comic if you had a great childhood. You know, like that's like the you know, like that same correlation there.
I've always thought that, and then somebody pointed out to me one day, like, you're adopted. You're born on 9/11. You're a veteran. You were the best man at your sister's wedding, and she's gay, and she stole your, like, yes, you're happy, but you don't have to pretend like you're not good at comedy because
but like that sort of like you're just never gonna be the same kind of like rebel, like, you know, like
Absolutely.
this was before he was rock and roll, before there was rock and roll, you know, like there was no
yeah, true. I didn't even think of that.
like that sound didn't exist yet. So like the young kids, like, you know, listening to the music that would upset their parents, that was the crooner. Like, you know what I mean? That was Sinatra. Sinatra Jr. is like, that's never gonna hit when you could be seeing like your kid in 1967. Are you gonna buy a ticket to see Frank Sinatra Jr. or The Doors?
Yeah, that's a hard sell. So he's actually playing to probably his father's crowd too, which again invites in more I mean, you're just never going to overcome that. It's I also thought of it Phil Simms, Chris Simms.
Okay.
So Phil Simms, legendary quarterback of the Giants. Chris Simms now doing a good job as an analyst, but you know.
That's unfair, dude. He could have been something if didn't his ribs get popped and almost puncture a lung or
He
something?
almost died on the field.
That's what I'm saying. Like he had promise. I would have taken him on the Jets back then.
Yeah, you might take him on the Jets right now. Now, we got to give credit where it's due. Frank Jr. is taking the gigs. He's earning it on the road. He is staying in room 417.
Of a motel. This is what shocked me, where it's like, you're Frank Sinatra's kid. Why are you not living the gimmick? Why are you not in the president's suite somewhere?
The road is the road, baby.
At least the vice president's suite.
Well, the road's always going to be the road, which is hilarious on that one. But it did amuse me here because he's in the motel. That also means less security. You can't get in, which is why Barry Keenan is about to pop into the story here, folks. So Barry Keenan's popping in. Nice. Honestly, you kind of feel for him a little bit here. When I tell you it's a crime story and then it has a happy ending, this is as good as it gets. It really is. Barry Keenan is only a few years older than Frank Jr. Keenan has done well on the LA Stock Exchange.
Youngest member of the LA Stock Exchange.
Nailed it, dude. Good.
At the time.
He's a finance bro, we would call that.
Also a classmate of Tina Sinatra.
I didn't know that.
Frank Jr.'s sister. They went to the same school.
Wow.
So he grew up with like a bunch of like super wealthy classmates, and he was, you know, from the wrong side of the tracks, and that always attracted him to like, I need to make a ton of money because I see like, you know, the Frank Sinatra's kid is going to my school. Like I see them pulling up in a brand new Cadillac at 16 years old.
It's tough living that one.
And it's like he had this like drive in him to make a ton of money, which is why finance attracted him at such a young age.
By the way, and it worked.
Oh,
He was wildly successful. He was wheeling and dealing like a champion at the LA Stock Exchange at only age 21. But like most finance bros, he's got a little bit of a substance problem. So Keenan is addicted to painkillers from a car wreck that he had gotten into. Things will begin to spiral when the once promising career that had seen him as the youngest member, like you said, of the LA Stock Exchange will appear over because Keenan is now penniless, addicted to painkillers, and his mental illnesses will begin to rear their ugly heads. This part is important because it comes in later heavily. It's not a far stretch to say that this idea would likely come from what can only be described as a narcotic-fueled mentally ill mind. Keenan is hearing voices due to his psychiatric condition. He considers these voices, you know, if I start hearing voices, I'll be like, all right, maybe I got to get checked out or whatever. But he's like, no, the voices are actually telling me my plan is good, which means the voices are from God. Mm-hmm. So God has blessed his plan. What is the plan, folks? I'm going to kidnap Frank Sinatra Jr. I'm going to hold him ransom. It's just a deal. It's a little collateral. That's all it is. Your son's life in exchange for this money. And then he does not consider it kidnapping. This is the greatest criminal mind I've ever seen, of being able to talk yourself. I'm not a bad guy. I'm actually pretty great. I'll pay the money back to Sinatra once I can. So imagine this one. It's he goes, all right, so I did kidnap your son. But if you look at my investments here, I have a very responsible portfolio set up for you and some solid 10-year returns. Sorry about kidnapping your son. But yes, this man's going to borrow Frank's son, take the ransom money, return him unharmed, and pay it back over time, to make good on it. So in his mind, it's more of a loan with human collateral than kidnapping.
The other justification that I heard about was that he thought that it would bring Frank and Frank Jr. and their whole family as a whole closer together. So because
He
of
grew
this,
up without a dad. I'll bring him closer together. I'm actually helping. When you look at it, I'm really helping.
hey, when's the last time you spoke to your father? Hey, I can get him on the phone like that, no problem. Oh, you know how bad your dad wants to see you?
Dude, it made me... Schizos have the best logic. You cannot defeat them. Schizos will always have... Now, by the way, Barry he's out of his mind to think that this is going to work, but he is smart enough to say that his plan is going to require some additional muscle. So he's going to need to reach out to help. He gets a buddy from his high school, Joe Amsler, very handsome kid. When I saw him getting arrested at the end of the story, spoiler alert, I'm sitting there, I was like, this kid's a movie star in the making. Like, he was, I can objectively say, I was like, this guy's got the jawline. It looked like, young Chrissy D getting pulled in for something. And an older fellow by the name of James Irwin will come into the story later. They will help Keenan pull off a kooky plan that is literally just dumb enough that it might work. Room 417. Continue, buddy.
So I heard that this plan, one of the sources I saw said that this plan was taken from a comic book. The actual kidnapping part was like
It's all believable.
read it in a comic book and said, I think we could do this.
I want to know which Archie comic it was that just set them up on this career of crime. Now, Amsler and Barry Keenan have been stalking Frank Sinatra Jr. for weeks, but the perfect time has arrived. It is room 417 at the Lake Tahoe Harrah's, 9 p.m. Sinatra is relaxing, either post or pre-show. I can't recall.
He just got off stage.
I think you're right on that one. These guys will go in by pretending to be either room service or delivering some sort of a package. Amsler and Barry Keenan will burst into the room, grab Frank Jr., tape up his friend, and make their way to their getaway car. Amsler and Keenan have just pulled off the hardest part of their plan, which is the kidnapping itself. Now, Keenan is deranged enough to think the plan is blessed by God, but also sound enough to know that he was going to need at least 2 accomplices to pull this off. He will also give himself the get-out-of-jail-free card by insisting, like you said, this is WWF heel logic. I brought your family closer together. This is like Raven. He should just be standing like Raven at the end. Sandman, you never spent any time with your son. So Frank Jr.'s friend will very quickly free himself and alert the authorities. Hey, folks, somebody just kidnapped the son of the chairman of the board. They're on it now. Local cops and state troopers are all over it very quickly. Cars are being stopped and searched due to Harrah's location at the time. If you cross state lines, it becomes a federal matter.
Yeah, you've now trafficked a person across state lines, so the FBI can get involved.
You know where kidnapping became a federal crime due to the state line issue was actually the Lindbergh kidnapping. That's the one that set the precedent.
So what I saw was that the guy, Keenan, obsessively researched the Lindbergh kidnapping to figure out where they went wrong. And I thought that's where you're going to go with your loserception was...
he would love this show.
Yeah.
I feel like that most of my fan base is bipolar and spectrum adjacent behaviors.
So he went through every single detail of the Lindbergh kidnapping and was like, okay, this is what they got wrong, but they did get this happened, they did get the money that so he went
it
through.
Worked. That's the craziest part. The plan did work. They just couldn't. They weren't truly criminals because they gave up on it. They had a sense of decency.
Right.
So I've always heard there's no smart criminals. Now, the cops do wind up stopping Keenan and Amsler. They don't say how, but somehow or other, these guys bluff their way through it. Hey, we're looking. Did anybody kidnap Frank Sinatra Jr.? I don't know. Tony, not Sinatra. What do you think? I'm just hanging out with my friends. We're having a good time.
He was in the car.
Whether he was in the car or the trunk, I don't know.
Okay. I have to assume the cops can't be that bad at their job.
That's I didn't even know there was a Frank Sinatra Jr. Somehow or other, they bullshit their way out of it. Now they get their way through here. They go they stay in California, I believe. So they pop over there. It's a suburb of L.A., which is where they're going to have a safe house set up. John Irwin will be waiting for them at the safe house. Irwin, significantly older than these guys too. He should know better. Hey, I got this one guy that used to give me hot tips on stocks has this awesome idea to kidnap Frank Sinatra's son.
I have a feeling it's like him and James were going to get $100K each, and they were going to stick Irwin with the 40 grand.
That one makes sense to me. It's what got me the most here on this one too was I was very impressed with this. The Reno office of the FBI. Things move faster when you have a high profile. Within 40 minutes of the kidnapping, the FBI is on the case. That's what happens when you're Frank Sinatra.
But, okay, I thought they needed it to cross over into Nevada for the FBI to get involved.
Matter. Yeah, so if you kidnap him from Nevada and then head into California.
But they grabbed him on the California side, no?
That's what I couldn't find, because when you look up this place, it shows up as Nevada. So if they're going from Nevada and then crossing state lines into California.
Oh, yeah, that's going
to give you your jurisdiction or whatever. And of course, too, again, when it's Frank Sinatra, they're going to say, all right, we're going to look the other way on this technicality here.
Fair.
The full arm of J. Edgar Hoover's boys are on it now. So Reno happened to, by the way, be where Sinatra was working at the time filming this movie. The FBI sent agents to Bel Air to stay with Frank Jr.'s mother and his sister Nancy. Did you watch the press conference that they did?
Yes.
I don't want to say it, but I think Nancy's about 20 years old there, and I'm just sitting there like, you know what you are. I
don't think that was Nancy. I think that was Tina.
Dude, if that's Tina, then they literally promoted the wrong Sinatra. Tina is just looking at you like an Italian dream. Now, the presumption of the FBI is that this will be about money. They were right. Frank is prepared to pay $1 million.
Tells him that.
Literally goes, I got $1 million to get my son back. And then finally they said, listen, just play it cool. Here's what we're going to do. Take your $1 million, offer it to them when they call, and then we're going to follow the money, and that's how we're going to get these guys, and we'll get your boy back to you safe. We promise you, Mr. Chairman of the Board, you are good to go. So $1 million is here. Finally, the phone call gets made by Irwin, the older fella, and they're going to the agents will actually put a man in play as the courier in order to be able to follow the money here. By following the money, in theory, they'll be able to find the masterminds of the crime or the schizophrenic pillhead finance bro that did this. Once Keenan, Amsler, and Irwin are set up in the safe house, they make their demand. The demand is made a day after the abduction. So I think in total, Frank Sinatra Jr. is kidnapped for 51 hours.
Yeah.
I have fasted longer than that.
True.
So it's really, if you're going to get kidnapped, this is probably the best way to have it happen. John Irwin will call Frank Sr. on the phone and make his demand. Please remember, Sinatra had $1 million ready for the return of his son, so it had to be a little bit of a puzzle when they only asked for $240,000.
He said, I want $240,000. Didn't Sinatra say, I'll give you $1 million? And they said, no, $240,000.
It just kept making me think of the movie Payback with Mel Gibson, where they're like, we'll give you $1 million. He goes, you owe me $70,000. I want my $70,000. I don't want anything else. Give me what you guys are just making this way harder than it has to be. So Sinatra will agree to pay the ransom, which, by the way, is not even $250,000. So there's literally, think about the money on the table here. I thought you were a finance bro. Come on, dude. Buy high, buy low, sell high. Sinatra will agree to pay the ransom, cooperates with the FBI. His friend JFK might no longer be president, but, when the former attorney general is his brother and you're on great terms with the family, RFK is alerted about this. All communications for the ransom. This is as close to a sad thing, but it made me think of my grandfather, who was my hero. All communications for the ransom will be done via payphone, which presented a unique challenge for Frank Sinatra. You're the chairman of the board. You're old blue eyes. You're one of the most famous people in the entire world. He goes, we don't have any coins in the house. How am I going to use the payphone? What's a dime? I haven't seen one in about 5 years. So he winds up having people run out in order to make change for him and stuff. And Frank Sinatra will, this is a true legitimate fear he had that he was going to run out of dimes for it. He spends the rest of his life after this moment. This is how deeply the kidnapping affected him. The rest of his life he will carry 10 dimes on him and is actually buried with 10 dimes in his pocket.
That one gave me chills.
Yeah, that's how you know you bothered him. Now, he doesn't show it because he's so charming. I mean, he was Mr. Charisma. But the amount is settled. The cash is on its way to the drop point. As instructed, the courier, who unbeknownst to Keenan and the crew, is a FBI agent. He's going to drop the money, which had all been photographed for tracking purposes, bills, numbers, everything like that, in between 2 school buses, and it's dropped off. This reassured Sinatra that, by the way, he goes, all right, so my son's in California, if they're picking this up, because they don't know that just yet. For those tracking, this has been just the first 48 hours of the kidnapping, and the money's been dropped. Keenan and Amsler went to grab the money at the drop spot, and Irwin, he's the older fellow who's been making phone conversations, he goes, I don't know, guys, I'm getting nervous about this plan. They're out to get the money. You seem like a great kid. Why don't you get out of here, man? We're gonna cut this thing off. I don't want to be a part of it anymore.
Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
Well, this one was the funniest part of the story. Frank Jr. gets released somewhere in Bel Air.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously Fresh Prince jokes are going to pop in here. Just picture Frank Sinatra Jr. being tossed out on his ass. But finally, Frank Sinatra Jr. will find a security guard at one of the houses in Bel Air and turns himself into the security guard. The guard, realizing the heat on the situation, this is either one of the dumbest things I've ever heard or the smartest thing. If Frank Sinatra Jr. shows up to you, if you, Mike Harrington, found Lady Gaga's dog, and you know everybody's looking for it, are you going to carry it around with you so that people just assume you're the kidnapper?
No, I'm getting that dog inside my home and finding out how to call Lady Gaga.
That would probably be my move, too. This security guard goes, all right, Sinatra's kid is here. Everybody's looking for him. It's been on the news. Quick, kid, get in my trunk.
In the trunk?
The security guard puts Frank Sinatra Jr. in the trunk, and then he goes, I'll take you to your mom's house. How do you not assume this guy's in on the kidnapping? He literally goes, don't worry, ma'am. I found your son. I swear I wasn't involved. Where is he? Where's my boy? Get out of the trunk, kid. But
insane.
Frank Jr. is like, he wasn't part of it. Everybody's cool here. It was definitely, what a weird one, man. Let me open my trunk and give you your kid back. What a great fucking line. Now, Frank Sinatra Jr. is returned unharmed 51 hours after being removed and kidnapped at Harrah's. A press conference is held, one for Frank Sinatra himself to announce his gratitude that his son is home safe, another with Frank Jr. himself, and what I thought was, I just wrote sister here because you might be right. If Tina, it looks like that, I got to Google Tina.
Yeah, no, I did. I Googled it for you. That is.
Oh, Tina's.
Yeah.
God, man.
Yeah, she was the classmate of Keenan.
Yeah, I got man, that's a new one. I really thought it was Nancy, and I was like, oh, before she was blonde or whatever. Nope. Now, like any good Italian mom from Jersey, as the mom is answering questions, we're just so happy he's back, and thank you to the authorities for cooperating. Can you guys give us some room? I gotta make him something to eat. I gotta feed him. You
can hear the reporters going, give your mother a kiss, son. Give your ma a kiss.
How about a big smooch for your mom there, kid? What do you say? You were just kidnapped. How about mocking it up for us a little bit, bud? So now the press is going to run wild with the story, of course. They mentioned that he's fully cooperating with the feds, and they knew their plan despite it working. Well, Keenan and the boys are like, all right, we're days away from being arrested here. It's not going to. We have the ransom money.
They get the money in the brown paper bag.
The kid is back. Everything's cool. Keenan winds up spending some of the ransom money. Apparently, I don't know how much. They don't disclose that. But yes, despite the plan working, its success is very short-lived. Frank Jr. is able to lead the feds back to the safe house.
Oh.
Irwin, who is overcome with guilt, goes up to his brother-in-law and just says, hey, I got to talk to you, man. Did you see that thing about Frank Sinatra's son? Yeah, it's me. I'm involved in that. And he was like, how long have you been planning this? He goes, we almost got him in Arizona once, but he missed a flight. So,
oh, wow.
It was a whole long plan to pull this thing off.
I heard that one of the guys was like bragging about it in a bar. Was like talking about how we had just pulled off the crime of the century, and like that
stealing more Lindbergh stuff.
That does sound like a Keenan thing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, in my mind, in my schizophrenic mind, I've just kidnapped this kid, held him for ransom, gotten his dad to be, you know, closer to him, show his dad how much he loves him. I'm going to get this $240,000 invested in the stock market. I'll be returning it with interest in a couple of years. It's the perfect plan.
It really is.
And then the bartender's like, FBI?
Hey,
What?
I want to say that like they probably tipped like shit, and then they're like, all right, now I got to do something about this.
240 grand. I'm getting 20 cents.
Yeah, so you literally just $2 on I should have known when you guys were drinking Pappy Van Winkle that something was up here. But pretty interesting. All three guys wind up in custody within days of Frank Sinatra Jr.'s release. The trials will prove very entertaining as the defense will argue Frank Jr. had orchestrated this himself as a publicity stunt.
Okay.
So
Solid.
they're trying to say, like, oh, he's trying to drum up ticket sales. He's not as famous as his dad, so he wants to get his name in the papers a little bit. So he probably hired these guys.
And it's like every one of the jury's like, I mean, he's not as famous as his dad.
Yeah, like, that's a pretty good plan. Then you talk to Keenan, and Keenan's just sitting there. He goes, so the voices in my head told me to, you're like, all right, never mind.
Chill.
Keenan's mental illnesses are considered, but eventually all three of the kidnappers are convicted. 3 for 3 on convictions here. All three men, I thought this was worth noting. I'm always amazed at this because we talk about political assassins, and you're like, oh, wow, you just ruined your entire life. You threw your whole life. And then they're like, and, paroled. It's great. It's insane that Squeaky Fromm is living in upstate New York right now to me.
Probably in a nicer house than I am.
It's, if I could just aspire to, the lofty goals she set for herself. Now, Keenan in particular is of note here. They all serve minimal time on very lengthy sentences. Keenan gets sentenced to life plus 75 years.
Oh, I only heard 75. It was life plus 75?
That's what I believe I read.
That's crazy.
I'll let you guys guess. Anybody want to guess how much time he actually served? It's 4 years. 4 years. He has to deal with...
Mighty short life there, son.
Oh, dude. The fact that and by the way, his mental illness is what gets him out of here. Here's your loserception, Mike Harrington. Temporary insanity.
Ooh, that's fun.
Dan Sickles, buddy.
Devil Dan.
Devil Dan Sickles is back on this one. So he was insane or legally declared insane during the kidnapping. So good old Dan Sickles comes and bails out Barry Keenan here. This is where the story gets to be as cute as possible here. And we are landing this plane. It's a rushed episode here, but there's a very big guest coming on HSR soon that I have to help Fega interview, and I'm pretty excited. I've never spoken to somebody of this person's magnitude, so it's pretty great. I'm excited. Here's our happy ending on a kidnapping story. Frank Sinatra Jr. will go on to have a great career, just not megastar status like his father. I've always wondered if that influenced stars with other famous parents. Obviously, another big ones, Charlie Sheen. Takes his father's last name, runs it into the ground. But Emilio Estevez played it smart so he could be separated from that. Margaret Qualley, her mom is Andy McDowell, but I found out her father was like a model.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, good for you, Andy McDowell. Just getting a male model, just pulling that's her version of Belichick kind of stuff.
I mean, dog, and just to make the hottest woman on earth right now.
Margaret, you're all about it, huh?
Oh, my God.
It's, she doesn't, I respect what she's bringing to the table, but I don't have, for whatever reason, it's not there. It's not my, not my cup of tea.
I watched a 3-minute ad she did for a perfume brand today where it's like she's Christopher Walken in the Fatboy Slim music video style, like just dancing by herself in like an empty hotel.
Chef's kiss.
Incredible, dog.
I wonder about it. Now I'm going to have to watch that later, and maybe I'll come back here with a redacted statement later. Another good one, too, is Angelina Jolie. Yep. John Voight's daughter, and she moved her name on that one. Nick Cage is actually Nick Coppola of the Francis Ford Coppola. And then this one's my favorite. Serafina might know this one. Do you know Elle King, X's and O's? You know who her dad is? It's Rob Schneider. Yeah, Rob Schneider is her dad.
She was on Story Wars, and it did not come up until I think the 7th story. It was like, oh, by the way, yeah, Rob Schneider's your dad. They're like, what?
It's she's interesting because she's very talented too. But I bet you don't want to say Rob Schneider because everybody's just going to be, she's kind of she's a full-figured gal. Yeah. So that's going to invite in some Deuce Bigelow jokes.
All right, fair enough.
That's a huge.
Kiefer Sutherland talks about that all the time. Like he would exactly the Frank Sinatra Jr. story. Like he would go in and get meetings with directors and stuff, and they would talk to him for a minute, and it inevitably would just be like, "Oh, how's your dad?" And that was like it. That was like the whole meeting for them was like, I mean, I'm seeing you as a favor to your father. How's he doing, by the way?
Yeah, and by the way, Kiefer played it perfectly. He goes, "You're going to be a total piece of shit in all of your movies for 15 years, and then we'll let you make 24. You get to be one of the greatest anti-heroes ever, but you have to be absolutely awful. You're going to be racist in almost every movie." And by the way, he did get to play Doc in Young Guns, which is my favorite character. In the Brat Pack. That was a Brat Pack production, those guys. You had Estevez, Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland.
Sheen was in?
Charlie Sheen is in the first Young Guns.
Oh, I was thinking of The Quick and the Dead.
Oh, no, not that one. The Young Guns is way more fun.
Yeah,
not that The Quick and the Dead is bad, but that one's way more fun. Nancy Sinatra will go blonde and become a cowgirl of sorts with These Boots Are Made for Walking, which is a staple in country and southern honky-tonks, which is not bad for a fake blonde girl from New Jersey. At any given time in America, a blonde girl from New Jersey is running the world. All right?
Serafina likes to hear this.
Are you from Jersey, Serafina? You are? No? Okay. Your time is coming here then, all right? Livy Dunn can't live on top forever, okay? It's right now it's Livy Dunn. I would say before that, there was an Ashley Tisdale moment.
Okay.
And then prior to that, you had, what's her name?
Snooki went blonde for a bit.
Did she? Never. She was never going to be top. She was never going to be top billing on that one. It goes all the way back to Sunny from the WWE for me.
Oh wow!
We've always churned out and they're always ambiguous as to where they're from and stuff like that too. But yeah, it's blonde girls from Jersey. It's a thing. They exist, folks. Irwin, I thought, was pretty. He's the most honest, probably the least criminal of all the conspirators. Less than 5 years in prison.
Whoa.
Joe Amesler, who literally was the co-pilot on the kidnapping. When he's getting walked out for his perp walk, directors were like, "Look at the jawline on this kid."
It was like, do you remember? Oh my goodness!
He's a handsome guy. Great job, by the way.
Do you remember the the hot dude parolee or whatever? It was like some dude, like his mugshot went super viral and women started going crazy for him. He walked in New York Fashion Week like a few weeks ago.
That's hilarious. It's fashion is evil. Now, Irwin, like I said, he's going to serve 5 years in prison here. Joe Amesler, who's the co-pilot on this, will also serve less than 5 years. When he gets out of jail, it's time to move on, start his life over in the movie business.
For real?
He parlayed a kidnapping into a moderately successful Hollywood career.
Whoa,
for a few
so
years.
You weren't kidding about directors seeing that perp walk going. We got a star
to be
here.
In there. Now, I found this one. This was very interesting to me. He goes into the movie business. He's working as a stuntman and bodyguard for Ryan O'Neal.
Okay.
Ryan O'Neal is, as soon as you see him, you would know him. He played on the show Bones. He was Bones' father.
Sure.
Okay.
He's also the father to Tatum O'Neal.
Yes, Tatum O'Neal, and by another famous guy. And she kept the name too, and she was a troubled kid. Cute little kid actress. And then, smoking crack's just never good for anybody. That's kind of my bottom line here, folks.
Fair enough.
But yes, he's going to go into Hollywood. He gets work as a stuntman and a bodyguard so he's pretty much Brad Pitt to Ryan O'Neal's Leo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. As for Barry Keoghan, I don't want to make you jealous of him, Serafina. I don't. But what's a finance bro with mental illness and some prison time on his record going to do with himself? He becomes a highly successful real estate developer, a very successful one at that. He will sit down for NPR interviews where he clearly lays out, so yeah, we kidnapped Sinatra. It was crazy. It was nuts. Yeah, I was on pills at the time. It was crazy. He's having these full things here. Serafina, if you could be friends with John Stamos, would you kidnap... Yes. John Stamos and him became very good friends, to the point where John Stamos actually posted when Barry Keoghan finally passed away. He goes, "My good friend Barry Keoghan is no longer in pain. Hopefully, he's up there having a White Russian right now in heaven. But if Frank Sinatra Sr. sees you, stay away, buddy. He's probably still literally joke. Remember that time you kidnapped you ruined his life." For about 51 hours? Oh, dude, that was hilarious. What a great guy, man. What a great guy.
So they, in 2021, they did a podcast together where he explained it, basically like how to sit down, full long-form podcast with Stamos. That's how they became friends. He actually texted Stamos before he took his own life, before he slip and slided.
Yes.
To say, hey, I'm in a tremendous amount of pain. I think this is it. But it's like, your last text on this earth is to John Stamos.
It's Nick Swartzen's bit come to life. I'm going to pay John Stamos to cry at my funeral. It blew my mind. Also, if I ever meet John Stamos, I'm just going to, like, Uncle Jesse, Sir Uncle Jesse, you don't have to call me that. Please, Sir Uncle Jesse, can we get you anything else? Stamos, Sir Uncle Jesse. But this story has the happy ending. I couldn't believe it on that one.
Multiple movies?
It's multiple movies. David Arquette, William H. Macy will play Irwin in that one. David Arquette is in the movie. There's a couple of books. They're actually talking about remaking this story right now. So I don't want to give anything away because I also, you can't tell when they talk about an upcoming movie, because I've been fooled before.
Yeah.
I've been fooled.
It's in production. But in 2021, there was a casting announcement. Barry Keoghan, played by CW's The Flash, Grant Gustin.
That one, dude, it blew my mind. By the way, I didn't know that it was the right one. I thought it was going to be Ezra Miller.
No.
If anybody's going to hear voices that tells him to do stuff, I thought for sure.
Yeah, dude, that would be inspired casting.
One good comic book reference for Dom, and we have fulfilled our quota here this week on American Loser, folks. Again, big shout out to Dom and Serafina making stuff happen for me. Absolutely no shout out to Paco whatsoever, who abandoned this show to go on the road with Louis J. Gomez. I don't respect you, Paco. I consider you to be absolutely problematic to me. And you can see Paco March 14th at the Dojo of Comedy when I let him open for me, because I just can't stay mad at that perfectly. I mean, he just has a perfect face, doesn't he? The symmetry.
Buddy, I hope he shows up for you. That's all I'm going to say. I really hope. I had him booked for the gig that you're doing tonight.
Oh,
that he bailed on.
0 for 2 on Anxiety Attack.
Dog.
Oh, man.
He's dead to me.
Paco, you're a good boy. We love you very much. But again, thank you to Dom and Serafina over here. Thank you guys to the listeners of the show here. Thank you, of course, to Doc Harrington. Come out and see him at the Armored League. Come see us tonight. You can't. This episode will be out 3 weeks after the show. But
not how time works.
Go to Anxiety Attack. All right. It's a once-a-month show. It's one of the most fun shows in the city. I'm hosting that one tonight. And we'll see you guys next time. That was the weird story of the kidnapping of Frank Sinatra Jr., American Loser.
On the edge they take the throne, built on bones of those unknown. Counted first, never last, still erased from the past.